Hello and welcome to It's Not That Late with Liv Harrison. I'm your host, Liv. Tonight is going to be all comedy. We have a comedian who's coming, our very first comic, and it's in studio and we are going to have a blast. There might be some wigs involved and maybe some sketches, but let me start by just sharing a personal story because I try to pretend that this little hour is therapy, and it's one that I definitely pay for because listen to this. This is a story from high school. I'm going to tie it into what we're doing tonight somehow because it is one of my favorite funny stories that's ever happened. I was a freshman in high school and I was young for a freshman. I was only 13, okay? And so I'm 13 and it was my very first football game that I went to. And I lived in Houston and at the time, because I was born and raised in Louisiana, but I was living in Houston and you know that first year of high school, you're a freshman, you don't know anybody. It's a new school and my school had 5,000 kids in it. Like my graduating class had like 960. I'm not kidding. It was huge. So it's my first game. And a group of girls asked me to go with them to the football game. And I was like, okay, absolutely. And I was so excited. And we go to this girl's house to get ready. I had never in my life gone to like a friend's house to get ready for something. I mean, I'd had like sleepovers and stuff, but I'd never gone to like dress up or I didn't understand the concept really. Like get ready for a football game to then all go to the football game together. I don't know. We probably packed into a Suburban. So as we're, brushing our hair, somebody walks into the bathroom and hands me a blue like face paint crayon. And I was like, oh, what is this? And they were like, Liv, it's for your face. And I was like, what kind of makeup is this? Like for my eyes? And they were like, no, you like put things on your face to cheer for the team. And they had to explain to me what it was. My high school is Klein High School. We were they're around here. The Bearcats with a K, okay? And so a lot of people were putting bear paws, like a little cute little bear paw on their cheek, and they looked so cute, and they're like adorable. I was like, I can't pull that off. I'm not a cute little blonde. I'm this chubby girl, and I'm like, I can't have a paw print on my face. My face is huge. So I was like, I'm going to write the word cats. Kats, because that's who we are. We're the Bearcats. And I'm going to wear this to the game. And so I was like, great. And our colors are blue and gold. I take the blue paint crayon and I'm in the mirror and I write cats on my face. And I walk out and I guess we all get to the Suburban and whose ever mom was driving us, took us to the game. And we're at the game and everybody's laughing. All the time. Like the whole time we're there. And I'm like totally trying to be cool and trying to be like, yeah, this is really, football games are so funny. I mean, this is so funny, you guys. I love football. Football's funny. Why are we laughing? I had no idea at all. You guys, the thing is I had written cats on my face whilst looking into a mirror, which meant I wrote cats backwards on my face. So I had a backwards Kats going across my entire chubby face. Okay. Really big, really blue, because as we've all learned, I don't do anything. If you're going to do it, right? Go big, go home. So it was thick, double. And those girls let me walk out and go to that football game with cats written backward on my face. So that might have been one of the moments where I was like, instead of having everyone laugh at you, make them laugh with you. And isn't that what comedy is? So that's one of my favorite stories because I love that. I didn't know till maybe the third quarter, maybe. Anyway, funny enough, I'm actually still friends with all those girls today, and they're actually really wonderful people. Comedy, though, is so fantastic for a lot of reasons. And I have to say my favorite way to receive comedy is through movies. As you know, I'm a huge movie buff and I love comedic film. It's something that I will watch forever. I do watch stand-up. I'll watch Gaffigan. There's a couple of guys that I'll watch. I used to love Whose Line Is It Anyway? I used to watch that all the time because I used to love doing improv in high school. And I've done a little bit of stand-up, and I'm working on some comedy now with New York. I do it through Zoom. So I love comedy. I want to know when we come back what JW loves that's funny. I want to know if we had the same comic funny bone, if we had the same films that we love. I have a feeling it could go either way. I'm not really sure. You guys come back. You're listening to It's Not That Late with Liv Harrison. Welcome back to It's Not That Late with Liv Harrison. And tonight we're focusing on all things funny. I love laughing. I don't know if anybody has caught on to that. It's like my favorite athleticism. That's not a real word. If I could be an athlete, I would be a laughing one, JW. I know that we've talked about you're athletic. You like to climb things, and I don't know. We've talked about all the things you do. I like to laugh. That's it.
You're a laughlete.
Look at you. That was funny. And why do I not have a six pack? Because you would think it'd be like an amazing core, but I don't.
Those are always the best laughs. Yeah. When it hurts a little bit afterwards. Yeah.
So, okay. Funny movies. I feel like I know that we don't always connect on all the same things, which I love about us. You know, that's my favorite thing. But I was gonna share my top 5 comedies.
Okay.
And see if any of them
just movies, top 5 comedy.
Just top 5 comic movies with you, comedy movies that I love.
All right, let's hear
and
them.
See if any of them
resonate.
You've heard of. If you like,
are these movies in black and white or color?
Okay, you know what? Is Taylor Schroll here today? What's with the old people jokes? No, that's a good question. Now that you said it, I don't think anything's in black and white.
All right.
I'm gonna.
Well, then we're off to a good start.
We're off to a good start. They're all in color. All right, the first one I know you're gonna know. Okay. I gotta say, I think I'm gonna start from my top one.
Okay.
I really do. When this film is on TV, here's what's great about me. If you were watching anything with me that I've seen before, you wouldn't know. It could be a TV show. It could be a commercial. I react at the same level. Are you surprised by that? Or are you like, that totally makes sense?
Like you've never seen it before.
As if I've never seen it before.
Perfect.
Okay. This movie, literally, I can't, I'm in pain. I love it. It's Tommy Boy. I'm sorry. I love Tommy
Boy's a great
Boy.
movie.
Do you love it? Is it in your top 5?
I think it's awesome. I don't know. Well,
I'm just making up my top 5, by the way, JW. Nobody really knows this.
I got to put a lot of thought into my top 5, and I really don't know.
This is on the fly.
I'm sure it's way up there, right? But you can't pin me down to a top 5 right away.
Okay, well, here's what I love about it. Every single line in that film is applicable.
It's brilliant
every day. We quote Tommy Boy. My kids were they don't know that they're saying Tommy Boy lines. They just, do you know what I mean?
Oh yeah.
Oh, it's just great. Every single, it's flooding my head right now.
Yeah,
it was
Tommy Boy is to you.
Great writing.
Tommy Boy is to you and your family what like Airplane is to my dad.
Oh,
and he would just repeat
quote
lines.
Don't call me Shirley.
Yeah, absolutely.
Did you grow up? Did you watch Airplane growing up?
I mean, I've seen it.
You've seen it.
It's not my favorite. Of times.
But people love. That's their
Oh yeah, people who like it, that's their
jam.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's their thing. Yeah, no, Tommy Boy's my number 1. I would have to say, you know what I really love, and this isn't as it's hilarious. I love The Wedding Singer with Adam Sandler and Drew Barrymore. I don't know if you've seen it.
I've seen it. My wife loves it.
Oh, it's hysterical. There's so many funny lines. That's a lot more less obvious. Like Tommy Boy's obvious comedy. Yeah. You know what I mean? It's out there. Obvious comedy.
Right.
The Wedding Singer, though, there's some great nuggets. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
And there's just my husband and I say lines all the time.
Yeah, some of those types of comedy I think are more funny to me when they're not so overt.
Yeah.
Right? You gotta have to get it.
Hit it over your
passes.
Head. Yeah. Yeah. This is a film you can't make anymore. This one you might not know. The next 2 you might not know. You know what? I'm now saying this is in order. Tommy Boy still is probably my number 1. But I love The Jerk with Steve Martin. Have you ever seen that film?
I've not seen it. Nope.
I can't breathe. I cannot breathe. And you could not make this movie today. It would be cancel cultured all day long. Like
a Blazing Saddles kind of deal.
I never saw Blazing Saddles. Is that not appropriate? Is there so many you can't do those things?
When I think about it like that, I've definitely heard that people who were in The Office would look back and say we could never make The Office today.
Right.
Then I see something like Blazing Saddles and I think, oh my gosh.
You're Burt Reynolds' entire career, I don't think could be made today, or Steve Martin. There's a lot of people who I don't think they could have been. I don't think Laugh-In could have been on TV. You probably don't even know what Laugh-In is. There's so many Goldie Hawn. There couldn't have been things that could have happened. But you got to watch The Jerk.
Okay.
You can handle it, and you will love. I hope you love it. It is so good. Oh, it's so good. I love that film. And we quote it all the time. Also, I love Monty Python and the Holy Grail. I know that's kind of, it's old school, but That really reminds me of my brothers.
Okay.
We used to watch it. I have 3 brothers. They're a lot younger than me.
Mm-hmm.
And we would watch it and then we would pretend to have coconuts and, do all the lines like, oh, but I'm not dead yet. Like, we were kids, you know what I mean? And we they were silly lines.
It was a movie that hit at like the right time.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. That's 4.
I think that's some part of comedy, at least like
that's true.
Movies that are comedy movies is they have to hit you at like the right moment in time.
That's a good point.
And then they'll like last with you for forever. Like Tommy Boy probably came in at a time where like you were able to like get it and it was funny. And if you watched, Chris Farley get like hit with the 2x4 today, it might not be as funny, but like at the moment it was. And so therefore it's going to be funny for the rest of your life.
That's a very good point. I hadn't thought about that. That's fair. That's a very good point. I think the last one, this is going to be one that you've never heard of, and it's called Seems Like Old Times. And it's Chevy Chase, Charles Grodin, who just died, and Goldie Hawn. And when I say it is fantastic comedy, it is so great. Goldie Hawn used to be married to Chevy Chase, and now she's married to Charles Grodin. Do you know any of these names?
Chase, yeah.
Okay, Charles Grodin is like running for senator or, like he's like, and Chevy Chase is Chevy Chase, he's like a goofball, silly. And then Charles Grodin, I don't know if you know him, but he's a great comic actor who just passed away. And he's very like, distinguished. So it's really, it's really funny to watch these 2 men who are both in love with this woman.
Yeah.
But some other ones I loved that.
Chevy Chase would be, I would put him up there. I've heard that he's not super fun in person, but.
Oh, really?
Yeah, that's what I've heard. But as we've talked in previous shows, I have very small interaction with celebrity culture, so it could be totally false. But no, Christmas Vacation is like one of my favorite absolute all-time movies. Yeah,
it's a classic. Your house is on fire.
Yeah, he makes it. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so yeah, what are some of your favorites?
My favorite funny movies.
Did any of those hit your top 5? Tommy Boy, maybe?
Yeah, Tommy Boy, maybe in the top 5.
Hot Rod, you like? Hot Rod's
I do.
Funny.
I like Hot Rod a lot.
That is hilarious. You like Step Brothers?
Yeah, Hot Rod, Step Brothers. When Anchorman first came out was awesome. Tropic Thunder. Quotable. Tropic Thunder was a movie that I really
so great.
My college friends and I would go retreat to our basement in college and where we had a kegerator and have drinks for long periods of time.
Yeah.
And just yell Tropic Thunder quotes while we chuck darts around this basement.
That sounds like college.
Yeah, one of my favorite memories still today.
No, but isn't that but that's the whole point. Like a good comedy, right? A good film that's a great comedy is one that you can quote. So I Married an Axe Murderer is one of my favorite films. That's with Mike Myers. That is such a quotable film. And I can tell by your face you haven't. Have you heard of it?
So I heard of it. When you first said that, I was
hilarious.
Like, Nathan?
So I Married an Axe Murderer is a hysterical film.
Okay.
You cannot breathe. And some of the best movies and lines. Mike Myers is a genius, and Charles Grodin is in it, and he plays the very refined. Like he does dry comedy better than anybody. You know what I mean? That dry delivery where you're God, so good.
Love that.
So good. Yeah. But yeah, I could see. I knew what you were gonna like. I could tell you. Yeah, Tropic Thunder.
Yeah, I have those kind of things. I think today I don't have time.
Yeah,
we have little kids. I don't have time to watch like movies very much. But we'll watch
Frozen.
We'll watch shows. Yeah, Frozen is comedic gold. No.
Bluey. Listen, Bluey's a funny show. Have you watched Bluey?
No, I haven't made myself sit down to watch Bluey.
It's 7-minute segments and it saves you as an adult because it's funny.
Well,
it's written for adults.
It's interesting that you say that. I've never watched it. You are the second person within the last 7 days to say that exact same thing to me.
I think you're getting a message.
When have you watched Bluey?
I love that I have an 18-year-old and an 11-year-old and I watch Bluey. And because Bluey is for the pre-K crowd, like toddlers.
It's for like my kids' age. Yeah.
It is. It totally is for your kids. And my kids, we flipping love Bluey. It's 7 minutes and it's really funny. But there's one episode that is like our favorite and we just watch it over and over and over and over again. And we just think it's hysterical. And we have that little poofy dog, the Pomeranian, that's so bougie. our dog Jack, and they have a Pomeranian in the show like every now and then, and it looks just like a ball with eyeballs, and we can't make it through the show. We laugh hysterically. 18, 11, and as we all know, I'm 17. So
there you go. You're their secondary target audience for Bluey.
Right? They're like, well, Liv Harrison laugh at Bluey. We're doing our job. Yeah, but you'll love it. I'm serious.
All right, I'll give it a shot.
It's a good show. It really is. It's a good show. All right, so everything is comedy today, JW, and we're going to laugh a lot and have a good time. You guys, when we come back, I'm going to have an in-studio audience and in-studio guests, all things to make you laugh, all the comedy. Don't go anywhere, okay? You're tuned into It's Not That Late with Liv Harrison.
Hi everyone, my name is Allison Wojtowecz. I'm super excited to be here today. I don't know if you guys noticed, but people kind of forgot to act because of lockdown. They just forgot how to socialize, you know? They don't even know how to properly type things out anymore. Like this guy on the internet asked me to send him nudes the other day. So I did, and he got really mad because they weren't of me. Be specific, you know? Something else about me is that I am a theater kid. I do have a theater degree and the salary to prove it. Theater school is interesting because they don't tell you this when you go sign up for it, but there's this thing called Real Talk Day. And it's when the professor sits you down and tells every person in front of the whole class what they look like so they know what parts to audition for. It's not a good time. My professor sat us all down for Real Talk Day, and he went through the room. He just goes, you, funny best friend, you, villain, Allison, young white female. I'm sorry, I didn't know my professor could be replaced with a mirror. I was so upset. I've known I'm a young white female my entire life. The way my brother and I used to be able to tell if my mom and her friends were drinking would just be to stick our heads into whatever room they were hanging out with and unleash the cry of the white woman. We would just go, hey mom, woohoo! And if they responded with the cry of the white woman, woohoo! We stayed upstairs that night. The crazy thing is that the cry of the white woman helps me make friends today. If you guys don't know how to make friends when you go out downtown, just try this. Whenever you are walking down Main Street or 6th Street or whatever your downtown hotspot is, just unleash the cry of the white woman, woo! And you'll get like 6 45-year-old white ladies who will come bar hop with you all night. They'll pay for your martinis. They'll tell you you're pretty. And they'll call you tomorrow to make sure you got home safe. It's the best. I am in my 20s though, so sometimes I want to hang out with girls closer to my age, but the fun thing is this still works on 25-year-old white girls. You just need to change your wording a little bit. Instead of woohoo, you gotta go, yes! And you'll get 6 25-year-old white girls to also bar hop with you. But instead of martinis, they will sneak their dollar shots onto your tab. And then you never hear from them again. They're sometimes more fun if you don't want to commit, you know? Yeah, commitment is insane though. Like online dating has totally changed the game. I don't know if you guys have had to deal with it, but I hated dealing with online dating. I even was a member of the Holy Trinity Church of Austin at one point. I don't know if you've heard of this, but it's Tinder, Bumble, Hinge. They're all different dating platforms and they all hate them equally. They're not fun. I like to call them lions, tigers, and bears. Oh my, you know, it's not a good time. I don't know if you guys have heard of this thing called ghosting, but if you don't know what it is, it's when you talk to someone for like 3 weeks straight, you think things are going well, and then they pretend to die so they never have to talk to you again. They just cut you off with no explanation, and then you're just like, all right, they're dead to me. It's not great, but what's worse is this thing called zombieing, and I didn't know it was real until it happened to me. Zombieing is when someone ghosts you and then 6 to 12 months later pops back up on your phone with no explanation again, therefore coming back from the dead to haunt you, okay? So I got zombied by this guy a few years back. I went on a Tinder date with him, and then 12 months to the day later, he matched with me on a different dating platform and tried to message me again. And the problem is, I don't think he knows that our Tinder date was bad, but I definitely know because we went to Chipotle. He didn't let me get guacamole on my Chipotle, which was weird because I was paying. And then he stormed out at the end of the date after a political comment that I made. I didn't realize anyone still cared about William Taft, but thank you guys so much. I'm Allison Wojtowecz.
Oh my gosh, yay, welcome. You have been invited to the couch.
Oh my gosh, I made it to the casting couch. Pay attention. All my friends that said I wouldn't do it.
It's happening. This is the moment, Allison. So you're our first comic to be on the show.
Thank you. I love the skyline that you have in your backyard. It's beautiful.
I got that from Amazon.
That's the best. This is the highest paying property in all of Houston. This is the highest dollar property everywhere because you have the direct view of Manhattan somehow. Or whatever city that is.
It looks
Seattle?
like a Marvel. I don't even know what that is.
Gotham City.
It is Gotham City. Batman should be coming any moment now. Christian Bale will be walking in. God, I would love that.
Man,
that would be so great.
I hit up my good friend Christian Bale. Did I tell you he's coming to the studio in a second?
You are a big deal. I mean, I can't believe we got you on the show. Like, this is amazing.
We didn't just get on the show. We're making this happen in the middle of Hurricane Nicholas.
No one even knows that. Here's what's great. So we pre-record. This is September. Last night, a hurricane came in. Legit hurricane. Allison, you don't live in Houston.
I live in Austin, and me and my two best girlfriends were like, let's make a day trip out of this radio show. We'll spend the night Monday night, so we're there, and we can just drive to Liv's house. And then we look at the weather, and all of our families are texting us weather updates being like, there's a literal hurricane coming to exactly to where you're driving, and we just said, let's go.
Here we are. So you actually, I need to be a bigger deal for that. Allison, I'm going to try to get really super famous between this moment and when this airs.
Okay, there we go.
Okay, so then you could be like, you guys, I was on It's Not That Late with Liv Harrison. And of course I went through a hurricane.
It was worth it. I had to go through a hurricane to get this exposure to millions of people.
This is what...
Because my friend Liv is so famous.
I hope this is actually a conversation we're having in 2028.
Yeah.
Okay, and we'll be like, you remember that one time when, and that's cute. And now you're our comic on the show, and you're famous, and we live in Manhattan. Okay, so
we have the real skyline in the background.
Skyline. We're not in my garage.
It's a fancy garage, I'll give you that.
Thanks.
It's a good spacious area.
It's a real studio.
Yeah.
We're pretending here. I pretend that I have something that people are listening
That's
to.
all Hollywood is, honey. It's just sets.
Isn't that comedy? You go up there and you're like, people want to hear things come out of my voice.
Yeah.
So I'm going to walk into this place and I'm going to tell them things.
Yep.
I've done stand-up once.
I didn't know
time.
that.
I did with Jen. So we have a mutual friend. That's how we know each other.
Jen Fulweiler.
At this point, it's kind of a running joke. Almost every show, Jen Fulweiler gets brought up because literally I exist because of her. Okay, wait. Jesus, my parents, and then Jen Fulweiler. Okay. It goes in that order.
Okay.
I only have a career because of her. So it's really funny because I'm like, so this person also is because I know Jen Fulweiler. So at this point, it's like, do you know what I mean? It's like a running gag. And everybody's
Jen
gonna be
is
like,
just your LinkedIn. That's it.
She's an angel investor into my show and doesn't know.
She's an angel investor for the talent.
Yeah, exactly. So, no, so I actually was on the air with Jen, because I was a part of her show.
Yeah.
I was a regular. And so I was actually in Manhattan. It was my first time to go live in Manhattan. She was in Austin, where her studio was. And I was like ridiculous, right? Because I'm like, I'm in Manhattan. I was basically Carrie Bradshaw.
Using the New York City life right here.
Ridiculous. I was like Sarah Jessica Parker.
Breakfast at Tiffany's.
Oh, totally. This is why Jesus won't let me have something in Manhattan. Because I would wear fur. You know what I mean? I would be on Humans of New York. Because I'd be
wearing fur and also standing at a PETA protest.
Exactly. I would totally be doing all of it, which is why I'm in Houston in the garage. So, so I'm walking in and Kate Spade committed suicide as I was walking into the building, and I'm getting the text on my phone.
Yeah.
And actually, you know, it was my second time on the show. It was my second time on the show in Manhattan specifically. And so Jen and I, of course, were talking about it.
Yeah, Jen was super upset by that too.
Oh, huge. Yeah. And so I was I was the guest for the day. So that's all we talked about on the air. And that was the moment, as I'm sure I know you know, when she decided to become a comedian.
Yeah.
I'm sure she has shared that with you.
Yeah.
So in the early days of 2018, I was at Kick A Coffee House or Kick A. I don't know what I'm allowed to say or not.
Well, there's Kick Butt. It's literally called Kick Butt Coffee.
Well, something like that. Okay, that's where we were.
Yeah.
And she was like, Liv, come in and let's do, because I was in for the show. I always drove in for the Austin show. And she goes, let's do stand up together.
So you did one of the Kick Butt open mics with her.
I did.
That's the one I met her at.
I did. Y'all met there?
Uh-huh.
No way.
I met her at that because that mic was walking distance from where I was living in Austin at the time.
That's crazy.
The first time I ever tried stand up was there. And then...
Look at that.
Yes.
Okay, but you're doing really well with it.
I went to a few more open mics after that. You got to keep going.
Okay, got it. Okay, I'll write that down. That's a good tip.
Yeah, take note, Joe Rogan podcast listeners. You got to do more than one open mic. I did my first ever set there, and then I made a friend at that mic who invited me to a late night one that same night.
Yeah,
and I just they taught me there's just this every night at different locations, and so I just started going almost every single night, and then I checked my calendar because I didn't know what the timeline was after that I met Jen. I just knew I was still really new to stand up.
Right.
And I looked at it and I think I actually met her just 1 week into me doing stand up too.
No
I think I met her
way.
at my second Kick Butt open mic.
That's crazy.
But which is even funnier because I'm just what a new comedian thing to do. I met her, and as soon as I found out it was her first open mic, I was like, here's how it works. This is what you do. This is what happens when they let you. I'm giving her the rundown as if I know what I'm talking about 1 week into stand up.
I've done it 7 days.
I've done it every single day since I started last week, so I'm kind of a big deal.
You're welcome.
Yeah. But,
well, she's doing well, so you taught her. I love that she has a contract with United Talent and
I know.
a tour, and you're like, dang it, I shouldn't have helped her. Way to go, Allison.
I mean, she takes me on tour with her, so I'm I'm glad that I'm glad that she decided to make that career move.
Yeah, it's been nice.
Because she's in such a unique place too, because she already had so much public speaking experience that she was good on stage already, and then so much of her writing was comedic that it wasn't a leap transition for a novel writer to write an hour of stand-up in less than a year. That was good, because if you're used to writing novels, you have to write way more. So she already knows how to write long form,
right?
And she also knows how to be funny. So she just had to learn how to put the stage and the funny together, which is what she worked on at the open mics. But she had an hour of good stand-up material that she took on tour in less than a year, which is pretty wild,
insane. And then had on Amazon Prime, her own,
and then signed UTA, which is one of the biggest agencies anyone can hope to be with.
So this is the Jen Fulwiler segment, everybody. Clap for Jen. She's doing great.
Yeah.
But you were her MC, and you would open on a lot of the tour. I came on a lot of the tour as just I'm a really good. Jen says my gift is I am the ultimate hype girl. She's like, Liv, you are. She's like, I want you in the front row every time.
I was thinking that when I was doing this just now. I was like, Liv has such a unique laugh, and she's so expressive. My boyfriend drives me crazy because he'll laugh, but he chuckles even if he thinks it's hilarious. You can't just get him to belly laugh at a comedy show.
Oh man!
And I'm just like, bro, step it up a little bit.
Help a girl out.
I know.
This is hard what I'm doing up here.
I know.
And it was hard. Doing stand-up. I just did my second stand-up for the show. I'm taking classes.
Oh, that's awesome.
Thank you. With American Comedy Institute in New York. So it's all Zooming. And then whenever I'm up there, I'll get to do, and I'll be up there pretty soon, I'll get to do some of my sets. I'm supposed to be able to do them at Gotham and at other clubs and things like that. So Stephen Rosenfield, he started American Comedy Institute, and he trained Gaffigan, and he trained all the
I know
guys.
what they do up there.
Yeah, they're a big deal. So anybody could take them. It's not this isn't Second
She's
City.
They're a big deal, but anyone can take them. So.
You just have to give them a check. Actually, Stephen has become my personal coach. And
That's
so,
awesome.
which is really great. But he helped me. Well, I did a monologue for the show, and he's like, Liv, I want you to do one for every single show. And I was like,
that's a big challenge.
That's a lot. Because it's got to be fresh new material. You know, I'm not Jimmy Fallon.
Well, Jimmy Fallon also has a team of writers.
Thank you, Allison. Yeah. Exactly. So I have yet to do another one, but I did do another like monologue the other day. And I have to say, writing clean comedy is harder.
It's tough.
It's tough because the one I did for the American Comedy Institute, it was PG-13. I mean, to everybody else, they'd probably be like, so that was also clean.
Well,
but for my crowd, it was PG-13. Writing clean is hard.
It's hard. And I mean, we texted about this before I came on because I was like, can you clearly define clean? Because I was hired to do a corporate gig on Zoom this month, which is already just the worst sentence I've ever said.
So
like Zoom comedy sucks.
It's so hard.
Zoom comedy sucks. And like on top of that, it's a corporate environment. So you don't know how stuffy everyone's going to be. Luckily, it was for college students that were in a corporate internship. So they were mostly younger people. But they said clean, and the guy who booked me, I ran it by him. I said, like, I have 20 minutes clean. All of it is stuff I've done for Jen's tours. Yeah. So, like, I can just use that. And he goes, yeah, if it's good for Jen, it should be good for us. And I was like, great.
Wait, say again, Jen's like a gateway.
7 minutes into this set, the guy leading the internship on the corporation side unmutes himself. It was during like the drinking moms part. He unmutes himself and he goes, hey, Allison, just as a reminder, this is a corporate environment and HR is on this call. Could you please reel it in? So that's why I was like, can you define clean?
Well, we're going to find out. We're going to find out if this is clean. I mean, you know.
Like, I don't think drinking moms is that bad because that's like what they all joke about.
Have you turned on Facebook? Well, no, because you're under the age of 400. But that's all. They're like, oh, coffee to start my day, wine in my night. Yeah. It's like this whole culture, which that's another problem. I'm not a big fan of it because it's like all they do. Like I only can look at my children if I'm drinking something. Right. That isn't a juice box. I'm like, you should like your kids, guys. Like, we shouldn't. What is going on with the moms in America?
Moms need help, but we also are allowed to joke about them.
Yeah, you can joke about it. I mean, they're over 21. Sure, you can have an adult beverage, but good gracious,
I know.
Get
that's
it
why
together.
I was like, what's going on?
That's funny. Yeah. Wow. Okay. Well. So we'll see. We'll let you know if this was clean.
I think what would be hilarious is if you get like reviews submitted to wherever people stream this. If they submit bad reviews, I want you to only send me the bad reviews.
Okay. No one bad review.
No one bad reviews.
Except DM me personally. Don't put it out there because you can't recover from that
That's
stuff.
True.
You know?
If you are
on
mad,
Apple, only write good stuff.
If
5
you are
stars.
mad, if you're mad, directly DM Liv or me, and I want to see it. That'll fuel my fire.
That'll be my Christmas card to you.
I'll just
fill it with.
How funny would that be? It's just like wishing you the warmest
all
holiday
the
seasons,
Karens.
and then it's just like your jokes aren't funny.
You're the worst. What did Jen ever see in her?
That would be funny.
But what is kind of cool about y'all's relationship, you and Jen, those of us that are friends, and I'm lucky I get to be friends with both of you. Well, I kind of just took you. I don't even. I'm like, Allison, we're friends.
We hung out.
We've hung out. Is that like she'll take you to mass? Like
I know.
You can become a Catholic Fulweiler.
I became besties with her youngest child, JT.
Oh, absolutely.
He like so much reminds me of my own little brother, who's actually named TJ.
Oh my gosh!
But like when my brother was that little, he was still just such a sweetheart.
He's a cutie.
Like I want to say it was pre-COVID. Yeah, so it must have been Christmas 2019 that I went to mass with them.
You did,
and we went to midnight mass because Jen was like, "I'm crazy. All my kids are staying up for midnight mass." JT is 5, but here we go. And so JT was just obviously tired and kind of just wanted to like be cuddled, and so he kept like coming up to me during mass and just asking for hugs. And afterwards I was just like, you're my new best friend, JT.
That is the cutest.
Yeah, but mass was so great with their kids. Like, I mean, it's just it was fun. The church that they go to is beautiful.
It is beautiful.
And I really like the tradition of Catholicism. I was raised Lutheran, so we don't have as many like things that we follow every single service.
Yeah.
So I just really enjoyed
familiar.
doing that.
It was like,
familiar.
oh, okay. Oh, Bible. Yeah. I've heard of that.
The Latin part was a little the Latin I didn't understand, but you know,
that's
it's
okay.
pretty. So.
That's okay. But you went to midnight mass, so you liked it. It really. I have to say, midnight mass is like my favorite mass. It feels very Christmas. Like all of a sudden you're like, yes, he was born. Like it feels real.
Yeah, and to me, like at this point, my body clock is so used to staying up fairly late and sleeping in late that I was just like, I'm gonna be awake until 1 or 2 a.m. before Christmas anyway. I may as well go to mass and have it reinstill the meaning of Christmas.
Yeah.
And so, I really appreciated that they let me come because it was basically just her and her family and their nanny and then me.
Yeah.
And I think maybe one or two other friends, Shady. Yeah. I think Chapel might have been there as well.
Chapel.
But it was just really
We need to have a reunion. I'm missing all these people. I used to see them all the time.
Yeah.
No, but that's really cool and that's really great. And I loved seeing that. And JT's cool. Like he's like the cutest little kid. But all the kids, I know. Big fan. Oh man. Okay. This is again the Jennifer Fulweiler show.
Yeah.
Everyone's gonna be confused when they tune in. But Allison, you have your own podcast.
Yeah.
And that's really exciting. Jen was actually your first guest. See how it always comes back? It's like all roads lead to Jen.
Yeah.
But let's move on from her. We're over her. She's doing fine. She doesn't need me.
I'm just gonna send her this whole segment
Dear
and be
God,
like, here's some PR for you.
She'll be like, yeah. Jen, since things aren't going well,
put this
Liv
in your
is really
brand
trying
packet.
to help. I'm trying to help her out, Allison.
Put this in your pitch. You were on the you were on that. It's not that late with Liv.
I mean, I'm very selfless. Okay. I'm really thoughtful. You're welcome, Jen. So, but tell me about your podcast. What's it called? And
so it's called Detox with Allison, and it's spelled DETALKS. So like the word talking, but to say it like detox because I'm kind of like professionally in this weird spot where I kind of have my hand in a lot of buckets, so to speak. Like I do marketing for several different health brands, including a vitamin IV lounge in Austin called MSW Lounge. And so they have their own podcast and studio, and Big Laugh Comedy approached me and said they wanted me to do a podcast on their page and platform.
Nice.
So they were like, but we want you to make it yours. And so I came up with the name because I talked to the Vitamin Lounge and they were like, we'll sponsor the podcast by letting you use our studio as well as we'll give you and your guest free vitamin IVs every show. I was like, I want to get these weekly anyway. And I usually do, but I'm usually like paying for supplies and stuff.
Yeah.
So I was like, yeah, that sounds great. And so, we basically just hook comedians up to vitamins and then we talk about comedy or just kind of whatever. Like we had a very long football segment last show for whatever reason with Dean Stanfield, but so like, it's just kind of whatever. But I do ask, I've been getting lucky to have some pretty big comedians on. Like I did have Jen, I had Rocky Dale Davis, Brian Holtzman, who's like a Comedy Store legend of over 25 years. Yeah. Bill Dawes. So, and he's like done a ton of Broadway and film and like all this stuff. So I'm just getting to meet really cool people that have careers that I admire and I'm just asking them about it. Sometimes we get crazy stories out of it. Like sometimes it's really insightful. And it's fun. And if they aren't comfortable with the IV, obviously we don't make them get one, but I at least have them drink. Like we have vitamin cocktail drinks that you can have too.
You're going to come out there, like you're going to be healthier than you were
That's
when
what
you walk into
like,
your
you guys
podcast.
Need to take your vitamins. Like this is what
it.
I'm like every other comedy podcast is like having them smoke or drink on the show.
No,
and
we're going to be healthy.
Like, no, you're going to detox your liver. I don't care.
You.
Like I don't care if you eat fast food on the way here and go get drunk afterwards, but we're going to at least be healthy here.
We need to invite all the moms. We need to... all the Karens need to go get their vitamins.
I know.
So let me ask you one last question. This is the big question on the show that I ask everybody, and it's about being extraordinary because I like talking to people who are extraordinary and they live in it, they lean into it.
Such a beautiful word.
Isn't it a beautiful word? You're extraordinary, Allison. You can write that down.
Write that down, Alex Murphy.
So, but what do you give yourself permission? Like, how do you give yourself permission is what I should say. How do you give yourself permission, Allison, to be extraordinary?
That's a really interesting question. I like that a lot. I think it differs by personality, but for me, it feels like if I'm not giving myself permission, I'm doing a disservice. And I think a good mindset shift, if you feel like you're supposed to be doing something or you've been really wanting to try something for a long time, you're actually just preventing yourself and possibly a lot of other people from experiencing whatever it is that you have to offer. So like you'll never get to experience being that comedian or singer if you don't give yourself the chance. And who knows, like people could be missing out on laughing or listening to this beautiful song if you never sang it. So it's just like putting it into perspective of like, what do I think is very enjoyable and also serviceable, and why would I be selfish and not share that?
I love that.
I think that's kind of how I've always looked at it.
I think that's really cool. No one has said that. I really like that. That's a fantastic answer.
Thank you.
Yeah. Well, thanks for being extraordinary.
Thank you.
Thanks for being the first comedian on the show.
I'm so honored. I'm going to put that in my press packet. So
look, I'm really going to try to get famous just so this works out for you.
It'll be mutually beneficial because it always is.
I love it. Allison, thank you so much. You know what? I did want to share something because I'm going to keep you around to play like a game.
Yeah.
I mean, we're a late night show. So we're different than the other kids. You know, we got to do something. Yeah, we got to get crazy. And you're a comedian. So, and you have a degree in theater.
Yes.
I love how you're like, I mean, come on, Allison. Well, I can't.
I literally called my mom this morning and she was like, what are they going to do on the show? And I was like, well, there's an improv segment. And she goes, shut up. You're good at that. I was like, it might be in Shakespearean English though. Because the most improv I ever did was for like a company that did Shakespeare, but it derailed into improv. So you had to speak in that language.
Oh yeah. We won't do that. We're not that fancy.
I'm not going to get that crazy.
The next time you're on the show, we'll really impress you.
Yeah.
So yeah, okay. But before that, we actually have some video. I don't know if you know this, of some bad stand-up comedy.
Oh gosh.
Have you ever seen any bad stand-up comedy?
Too much. Someone opened up a literal cat carrier during a show that I was on the other day, and a cat was unleashed at the show and got more attention than the comedians.
No. See, if I had video of that would be amazing. Okay.
Chaos.
See, there's lots of bad comedy out there, guys, just as much as there's good comedy. So we're going to go and we're going to show you this great clip of some bad comedy. Well, hi, y'all. I'm Wendy, and I'm here because all my friends said that I'm really funny because when I'm at mom's group at my church, I make everybody laugh. So I'm really excited to be here for y'all's open mic. I heard, that anybody can come and just say funny jokes. So I have them on my iPhone, and I just thought I'd share a few. These are the ones that just crack them up, y'all, at those mom groups. They just love these jokes. So y'all are in for a treat, and you're just so welcome. Okay, here's the first joke, okay, everybody? This is the first joke. This is my first open mic, by the way. This is my first one. But that's because all my friends, I already told y'all, I'm a little nervous. Okay, what do you call a can opener that doesn't work? Okay, this is for all my moms in the kitchen, y'all. You're working so hard in the kitchen. You cooking for your babies, okay? What do you call, this isn't a quiz, a can't opener? A can't opener. Okay, they love that one. That kills them every time. There are 3 types of people in the world, y'all. Did y'all know that? There's 3 types of people in the world. Okay, those who can count and those who can't. Okay, I didn't say 3 names, y'all. Did y'all get that? I just said 2 things. Okay, sometimes I have to explain it to my friends because they all have lots of babies. Okay, so their minds are tired, y'all. It's hard to be a mom. Oh, that's right. I'm not here talking about being a mom. I'm doing jokes. I'm here for my open mic. Okay, here's another kitchen one. Who makes snacks for their babies? You all make snacks because those kids, they just want to eat all the time, y'all. Like, I make a snack and then the joke. Okay, wait, hold on. Here's the joke. Okay. 2 muffins were sitting in an oven. Okay, y'all. 2 muffins. Okay. Sitting in an oven. Okay, everybody knows what I'm talking about. One turned to the other one and said, wow, it's pretty hot in here. Hot. Okay. And then the other muffin said, a talking muffin. Okay. You guys, my kids love that joke. Every time I make them blueberry muffins, I tell them that joke. They're just like, Mom, you should be a comedian. And I said, I am, because I'm here at this open mic. So this counts. Oh, you guys, this is another one. It's so hard to be a mom. It's so hard because we're cooking and we got to raise the kids. And then, you guys, we have to clean. Okay. And the joke. I sold my vacuum the other day. Okay. All it was doing was collecting dust. It's true. I have so much dust in my house, y'all. That was a good joke. Oh, okay. Did you hear about the guy who invented the knock knock joke? Did you hear about him? He's not on Instagram. No, he won the Nobel Prize. Okay. These are so good, y'all. These are I crush it at church. Okay. I have a few more. No, I'm not done. No, I've got more jokes to do. No, you didn't give me a limit. There's this kid over here telling me that I'm not done. I got more jokes. These are funny, y'all. I'm not giving up this microphone. Nobody listens to me. Okay, 2 windmills are standing on a wind farm. One asks, what's your favorite type of music? And the other one says, I'm a big metal fan. Okay, because they're windmills. Everybody get that? They're windmills. We got those in Texas, okay? Because we got lots of wind. We just had a hurricane. So those windmills, they begin doing a lot of big metal, okay? All right. I will just do a few more. I'm just having so much fun. You guys. These open mics are just lovely. You guys are, what finger is that, sir? Please put that down. Okay, I'll tell more jokes. The wedding was so beautiful. Even the cake was in tears. Okay, tears. Do you hear what I'm saying? Did you hear that? Who doesn't love wedding cake? I do. Sir, please stop throwing things at me, okay? Okay, apparently my time is done on this little here. Thank you very much. This has been Wendy. I appreciate it, y'all. Welcome back to It's Not That Late with Liv, Harrison, Allison. That was rough.
That looked like an open mic.
So that was pretty accurate.
It's pretty accurate.
You've actually seen people do that badly. Like that was obviously real video.
I would say that very real video captured the essence of someone who could have good stage presence. Man. Like the fact that the person that Miss Wendy was like chugging along so well, that's more promising than some.
She has potential.
Yeah.
We'll see. You just send her your way.
Yeah, she just needs to learn how to time it and read the room when they're putting their fingers up at her.
Read the room.
Yeah.
I'll send her that note. I think she needs to go on your show. I think that's who you need to interview for your podcast. She's obviously an up and coming comic.
Yeah.
Just kidding. But here's the thing what's so great about you, Allison. I love that you're so humble about, you went to UT. Like that, the University of Texas is not, first of all, that's not an easy school to get into, period. But you went to UT Theater School. That's a big deal. And I love that you don't lead with that.
I think I don't lead with it because it's like, wow, you got into UT. What did you study? Yeah. Theater.
That's when you're like, and Matthew McConaughey comes to everything we do.
I did get a science degree too, so I backed it up.
Did you really?
Yeah, I double majored.
That's why I like the health stuff.
Yes.
This makes sense.
Yes.
Well, I want to stretch your muscle. Okay, see what I did there? Sorry.
Are you sure you're not Wendy?
I was gonna say, she's stuck in there, you guys.
Your producer's looking at you like, I told you so. You are Wendy.
We have a special guest that we haven't said yet. Taylor Schroll is being a co-producer today. Taylor is in town because he wanted to also come in for a hurricane. So he thought, I'll just swing into Liv's. Taylor, we want to get Allison to use her good old UT theater degree and do some improv. You remember improv?
A little bit, yeah.
This is when you gotta think on your feet. Whose line is it anyway?
Yeah.
I used to watch that show. Like Wayne Brady was like,
yeah.
I just wanted to grow up and be him. And then
I gotta fully disclose that Shakespeare comment I made earlier is because we used to get actors drunk on a Shakespeare show, and that's why it would derail. So someone would be legitimately drunk for the show, and it was their job to mess up the storyline so that we had to improvise the ending.
Oh, geez.
And so I've definitely had my fair share of improv.
There you go. So you've done improv. It's part of your degree. Yeah. Okay, so we're going to do improv right now. Taylor Schroll has taken on the role of co-producer. He has some words for us.
Yeah.
And we're going to have to stay seating because I didn't prep for this.
I got some battery issues.
Yeah, this is okay. You're the first comic. We'll do better next time. Okay, Taylor, it's all yours. Tell us what to do.
All right, Allie. Well, I am hoping to play the role of the drunk guy at the Shakespeare play and just completely derail this. So if y'all are able to pull this off, I'll be very impressed. So I had some written down, but I thought of one because of what you were saying earlier with your Shakespeare background. So the scenario is, Allie, you are Romeo. Liv, she's Romeo.
Oh, he mixed it up.
You are Juliet, Liv, and y'all are on a modern day date. Romeo and Juliet on a modern day date.
But she's the hot one.
Ready, set, go.
Everyone watching YouTube is like, wait, what? Taylor can't see. Poor Taylor has cataracts. Okay, I love that I'm Juliet.
That's why he told us the wrong one in the beginning. He's like, it's got to be some improv.
Oh, okay, we got to really work this.
Are we doing the accents or what?
Sure. Oh, I'm doing it, Allison. I'm with you. You're the man.
Okay. Well, Juliet, it was lovely to match with you on Tinder.
Oh my goodness, you're absolutely lovely.
Oh yeah, you're quite lovely yourself.
You're brilliant.
Oh, is this what love feels like?
Look, I only know my father and I don't know if I have a brother because I don't remember the play, but you might be the only man I've ever seen, and you're quite handsome.
Oh, thank you. You know, Tinder doesn't tell us our last names on the profile, so tell me a bit more about yourself.
Oh, right. Well, I'm very rich and beautiful, and I have a balcony. Oh. You should come talk to me from it, like from below.
Wow.
Just come and like hit pebbles.
That just made you go from a 9 to a 10. Only the richest and most pretty women have balconies on their houses.
It's true, right. Well, it's kind of like vintage, right? I mean, even though it's 2021, we just have a lot of money. So I just take a helicopter there. So that's what makes it amazing. But my last name is Capulet, which obviously seems very rich. What about you? Tell me a little about yourself. What do you do? Tinder doesn't say. I just swiped.
Yeah, well, first of all, my family is also very rich.
This is great.
Yeah, so I can actually take the family helicopter to your balcony as well.
Fantastic.
Yeah, that's not going to be a problem. However, my last name is Montague.
Oh, no. We have your yacht. It's next to our yacht.
Yeah.
And my father hates your yacht.
Yeah, my father hates your yacht too.
No.
You're always dumping your cleaning fluids in the water next to us and we can't swim.
This is because I'm friends with the Kardashians and you're friends with the Hiltons. And they're so old, the Hiltons. Y'all need to come over to our side.
No, the new money's so dirty. It's just Instagram influencers. No. 50% of Kim's followers are fake anyway.
Oh, no. Have you heard Kanye's new album? It is lit.
Yeah, you'll have to talk to my friend Drake about that. I don't know.
Do you want to just like still go out anyway? Like I say, you know what? Who cares about the yachts? We'll bring my friends. You bring your friends. That should end up so well.
You know, you're just so hot. I agree. Let's keep doing this. I have really good feelings about
the hotness, and you are it. Yeah. That's all that matters on Tinder.
We just don't need to tell each other's last names to our friends and family.
Perfect. This is going to work out great.
So well.
I think we're going to make it a whole another 30 minutes.
Yeah.
And scene.
Very good. Very good.
That's basically how it would go, I think. That's kind
of like in 30 minutes later, right?
They die within a week. They die within a week, for sure. That's why I was like, I love you immediately.
That's how the love bombing. Now we know about narcissism. We need to go. Dude, bring in health, like mental health, into Romeo and Juliet.
All of the problems with Shakespeare,
right?
Like I love Shakespeare so much, but if you look even just at the structure of Romeo and Juliet, how ridiculous it is. It should be a comedy, except everyone dies at the end. Like he wrote it to be the most ridiculous scenario possible, and so like the company that I did it with for a few years, I love doing that play because we made it so absurd because that's how it's written. Until everyone dies at the end, it would have been a comedy. You know?
It's like
cancel out Act 5 and it's a comedy. So
I do love the Gwyneth Paltrow version though. I gotta say, you know, it's fantastic. And I mean, anytime that a Fiennes is involved, is it Ralph Fiennes or Joe Fiennes plays Romeo in that one? I don't know. And then I also like the old, you know, Leonardo DiCaprio.
The Leo DiCaprio one killed me.
I was just so ridiculous. I
was just so confused because I had just learned what steampunk was, which is what they did in that.
Well, Baz Luhrmann. What is it? Wendy's still stuck in there, y'all.
Learn your words again.
She just won't go away.
You're like, I guess I'm drinking hurricanes for the hurricane.
What is going on? Baz Luhrmann, the director, who also did Moulin Rouge, and all of his stuff is a little out there. You got to be a fan to get it. But that's anyway. Claire Danes and Angel Alpha. I don't know why we're still talking about Romeo and Juliet. Okay, Allison, this was so much fun.
This was great.
Thank you so much. Thanks for taking on a hurricane. And there's parts of the story that people don't even know.
I know.
You went through a lot. I feel like I need to give you a parting. You can take a wig. I've got nothing for you. I don't know what to do. But when I make it big, I
want to take a picture in the wig. Yeah, and I'll definitely be on your tour bus. We'll be going hard in the tour bus.
Jen will be opening for me.
That's the only clip I'm going to send her from this whole show.
She could, cross her fingers. It's happening, Jen. Don't worry. I'll make it for us both. Okay. No, but really, thank you so much. Where can people find you on the internet and in Austin? Where are all the places?
Yeah. My Instagram is at Alliwo, ALLIWO. That's also my website, alliwo.com. I put all my upcoming dates on both of those in my bio or on my website. And then the podcast is Detox with Allison, Detalks. That's on the Big Laugh Comedy channel, as well as just anywhere you listen to podcasts. It's got its own channel and all that stuff. We've got 11 episodes as of this week. So
look at you.
Yeah.
You've been busy.
Yeah.
You're like, pandemic, great. Give me time to create.
I'm already like, crap, I need to figure out who I'm shooting with this week.
Awesome.
But, yeah.
Wendy's available.
Yes. I'll need to hit up Wendy's agent. I know she booked one after that set.
Oh yeah. She's headed big time. No, well, thank you so much again for coming in.
Yeah, thank you.
And for bringing the crowd, thank you.
Yes.
Studio audience.
Got Destiny Lane and Anupi Chandiramani in the house. My road crew team.
They're the best.
Yeah.
Okay, well, you guys don't go anywhere because we'll be right back in just a sec. You are tuned into It's Not That Late with Liv Harrison. You guys, welcome back to It's Not That Late with Liv Harrison. Today has been such a blast. So much fun. I need to get more comic friends. I need to get some more theater people up in here. That was just so great. You guys, thanks for hanging out and for watching and for listening. If you're at Veritas at 13:50 a.m. or on their app, if you're listening on a podcast, or if you're watching on YouTube or on Facebook, thank you so much. You guys, I want to remind you to give yourselves permission to be extraordinary, and I'll see you back here next week. Okay, you guys, thanks for tuning in. It's Not That Late with Liv Harrison.